Well, this definitely has to be one of the favorite spots for me here in the mezzanine level of the concert hall, and with, wow, I guess one of my favorite interviewees, Alexander Mickelthwate.
Yes, thank you, Tracy. Same here.
Same here. You didn't have a choice about that, okay?
Well, same spot, love the spot, New music festival, it's all dressed up a little bit.
Yeah, kind of funky, which is really what I want to talk about. 12 years here in Winnipeg, you've really put the groove, made classical music funky, you've embraced our community, and you've created so much. So if we go back to the very beginning, that first year, the big thing, you look like Kevin Bacon. But did you ever think that you would be here for 12 years?
Well, no, I didn't.
One year.
Yeah, I mean, in my first year, we basically still lived in LA, and then my wife, so we decided to move here, of course. And it was a hard beginning, I must say, as a family unit. I mean, it was great for me professionally. But then it has this strange thing, you might hear this off and on Winnipeg, that it kind of has this mystical magnetism that...
It's our winter.
It's called winter. No, I mean, yes, you're right. But there's more, it is really a creative arts community, and one always says that, but I think people are not aware how much it is true, North America-wide. How much I was able to do, and we'll talk about maybe more. That was quite impressive, I think, for a symphony orchestra. So, yeah, it's a good start.
Well, I think when I sit back to that very first interview, I was really amazed leaving saying, this maestro really is going to make a difference in the community and really take classical music and what the symphony is to a different level. And so let's talk about some of the programs and some of the performances that resonate with you.
Yes, I mean, I remember the first New Music Festival, because this was my mission from the get-go. We went to the Garrick Theater and had this rave or something one of the nights with like DJs and so on. And so every festival I try to have something weird in the community. Isabella Rossellini was my other, the next festival with Guy Madden.
Yes.
It was amazing. But then it kind of goes. I mean, of course, last year in the basement of the Bay, 1,000 people, over 1,000 people. It was just stunning. The Pan Am Pool concert.
Yes, I was going to mention that. You have to. So imagine the Pan Am Pool as the backdrop for the symphony.
So it was this amazing piece, of course, Gavin Bryar's Titanic, singing of the Titanic, which was conceived in a way, the idea in the setting of a pool, and it was just stunning to have this. I mean, the thing is, the backstory is interesting because we went there like at least 6 months before and told Pan Am Pool the story, and they were like, oh yeah, we're excited. And then we were like, well, but we need to turn off the lights, And they're like, well, you can turn off the lights, sure, but always 3 have to stay on for safety reasons. And we're like, but no, that's how it is, And then in the next meeting, we we could, like, let's say 2 lights. And then at the end, they were like, okay, we'll kill the lights for you guys. And then it was so that in the day of the performance, they killed the lights, but one didn't shut off. So the
It was
guy,
your spotlight.
yeah, the guy then went into the rafters and manually unplugged one of those massive lights for us because he was so excited for this whole project. I mean, anyway, it's Winnipeg, everybody comes together and makes it happen.
And I heard that because of the humidity in the pool, that created a little bit of problem with the instruments too.
Well, that's the thing. Like it was, because we had to turn off the fan.
Yes.
So in order to get that white noise away, it was quiet, but then it got warmer and warmer, and more humid and more humid. At the end, it was great. Of course, it worked out.
Well, so beautiful. And let's talk about some of the special guests that you brought here to Winnipeg. Some real treats.
Yes, I mean, of course, Evelyn Glennie, our previous composer in resident, Vincent Ho, who was wonderful and was created this relation with Evelyn, wrote 2 percussion concerti for her, and that was awesome, I must say, to have that person here perform with us several times. Kronos Quartet, I mean, several of those, Aditi Quartet, from the composers, John Corigliano came This year, of course, Phil Glass, maybe the highlight.
Yes.
For me personally, the highlight is Glenn Branca. You might not, nobody might remember, but he is this New York-based composer who came in 2014, who looked like somebody who doesn't have an apartment. I mean, who's like living on the streets, and was very rough on the edges in the rehearsals, and ticked people off because he was just rude. But it was, and his music was the most extreme of like just 40 minutes basically of like weird random sounds. And in the performance, for me it was like like the heavens opened up. It was so amazing. Some people walked out, but most were so transfixed and then afterwards said, gosh, we wish it would have continued.
Wow.
It was this feeling of being on the very edge of creativity. It was, one of my favorites.
Wow, so amazing. Now, some of the programs that you brought to Winnipeg, I want to talk about especially Sistema. That truly is a brilliant program, and so many children have benefited from it.
Well, I mean, it was the thing. When I ended Los Angeles Philharmonic, they hired their new music director, Gustavo Dudamel, who came right out of the El Sistema program in Venezuela. I'd never had heard about it before, and was like, oh, this is beautiful, of course, and can we start this in Winnipeg? And then it took a little while, and I must say our staff is phenomenal, where they kind of take the idea and make it happen. And so I ran around with Trudy Shorter, of executive director, to individual sponsors, and Business Council of Manitoba, and kind of really got them all going. And yes, we started this. It grew to 200 kids now, and it's a really, really beautiful.
It is. Well, and that's when you really see the beauty of music. And so, folks, for some that don't know Sistema, so the actual members here, the WSO, go into schools and teach the kids how to play musical instruments. And then it culminates into a big concert, which is really powerful.
Yes, and it's 5 days a week.
Yes.
It's an after-school program between 3:30 and 6:30. And something that I would like my kids would participate, you know. But it is in 2 schools, Elwick and King Edwards, and it's growing steadily. We got some wonderful gifts now for the endowment by Michael Nozick and Tanis Richardson. Yeah, so it's even cared for the future. Very nice. So it's a real project of the heart.
Well, that means that your legacy will live on here in Winnipeg. What are some of your favorite moments here, Alexander?
Well, of course, the first one is Carnegie Hall.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, that little place.
That little place and little trip, which came out of the New Music Festival, I must say. Our programming that we are doing once a year here, drew the attention, first of all, of people in New York City, and then the programs that we submitted were based on those New Music Festival programs, and really struck a chord there, and made us win that spot, which was highly competitive. 36 orchestras, North American orchestras, applied to perform there. Yeah, that was definitely, the highlight. And then, musically, I just personally they play so amazing, I must say. I really hope people understand what a true gem they have with the Winnipeg Symphony. And to play this big romantic repertoire like a Bruckner symphony, or Shostakovich, Mozart even. Jupiter Symphony with Mozart was so extremely beautiful that I'll always keep this in my heart. And yeah.
And finally, is there anything that you would like to say to your fans here in Winnipeg?
Oh.
Not to put you on the spot.
Well, I must say that will be very hard. Just walking last night during after the concert through the audience, and people constantly come, and it's like friends now. There's so many friends that I know from 12 years that know me from that time, and just chat, and it's a huge family that is just the best. And that I don't know, actually. That will be hard.
Oh, well, we'll all follow you on that thing called YouTube and the internet. So from all of us here, we wish you and your family all the best in Oklahoma, Kansas City, wherever your musical endeavors take you. We love you.
Thank you. I love you too. Yeah, everybody here.
Bye-bye. So long.